This is Knockout Roxxi, and you're listening to Beyond the Rope.
Are you ready for the best step out of your life? Give me a hell, give me a yeah. Everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Alright folks, welcome to another online interview with Beyond the Ropes Radio, and tonight with our special guest, TNA Hardcore Knockout Roxxi. Welcome to the show, and how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, I guess. So let's start at no better place than the beginning. Get to know a little bit, you growing up. How old were you when you started to watch wrestling?
I was watching since I was real young, probably like 3 or 4 with my mom and dad.
Cool. Who were some of your favorite stars?
When I was real young, I really liked Andre, and I was a big fan of Hulk Hogan. Trying to think of who else. I'd probably say Bret Hart and The Warrior.
Oh, nice. Now, what was it about them that caught your attention? Andre, I guess maybe his size, but the others?
Yeah, with Andre for sure with that, and I guess mostly the electricity that you would get from like Hulk Hogan and the Warrior and stuff like that. They were just crazy and running around the ring. Mm-hmm. And if you ever see any of my independent stuff, it's normally what I was doing.
Right. Now, how old were you when you knew you wanted to become a pro wrestler?
I actually never really said since I was little that I wanted to. Like, that wasn't even a part of my thinking. I actually went with somebody else to a wrestling school, and when I got there, I actually was talked into getting into the ring by one of the other girls there, April Hunter.
Oh, nice.
And I just never stopped that. I never actually said, like, since I was little, like, ooh, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. I never wanted to do that.
So was that first bump really that thrilling? Is that what...
I just kind of got hooked because it was something that kind of came easy. Not easy, but it was something that I wanted to actually prove to myself that I could do with some of the guys.
Nice. So when was it that you started training? How old were you then?
2001.
2001. And then whereabouts did you train?
I'm sorry?
Where did you train?
Oh, Killer Kowalski.
Oh, nice. Now, you mentioned April Hunter. Was there anyone else there that later became just as well known as yourself?
At that time, no. Not that I can remember. Right. I trained there for about a year and a half, and then I went up to train with Steve Bradley.
Oh, cool. What kind of advice do you have for any of the girls of today that want to become a pro wrestler?
It's hard as shit, and don't take it lightly. And usually you will probably be the only girl there, and hopefully you can take the abuse of all the guys.
Right. Cool. So after training, you wrestled some locals, and later on ended up in Mexico for CMLL. How was your time there, and what kind of experience did you get from being down there?
I lived down in Mexico for about a year and a half. So for me, I was training and like living the whole lucha style. And for me, I totally enjoyed it. And I've incorporated, like, I'm not super high flyer or anything like that, but a lot of my grappling and stuff is from down there.
Right. Cool. So after Mexico, you ended up back in the States and you're working for New England Championship. But at the same time, you worked for a little fed that we all know called Shimmer, as you still do. What is it like to work for an all-women's fed?
I love working for Shimmer. It's great because all those girls work so hard to get there, and we all try to kind of take care of each other. It's a lot of fun for me. I love seeing the girls.
Cool. So what do you think of the so-called Canadian invasion? There's a lot of Canadian girls in Shimmer right now.
I think it's great because it gets them a lot of exposure in the States,
right. And
it's a chance for us to be able to work with different girls.
True. Of all your opponents so far in Shimmer, who have you had your best matches with so far?
Oh, I seriously could not even pin that down. I think every girl has something different to bring to the match. And so for me, like, I can't just pinpoint one certain match. I can't walk away and say like every match was great, but I learned something, and I hope to teach some girls some stuff at the same time every match that I have.
Right. Now, is there someone that you haven't worked that you just can't wait to work?
I think I've kind of gone through majority of the girls. Like, if I haven't worked them in Shimmer, I've worked them somewhere else.
Right.
So for me, it's just fun to get in there and be able to work around with girls that are like my close friends and stuff like that. So I just really enjoy doing that.
Cool. So after making a name for yourself in Shimmer and New England, you end up on TNA, and right away you're teamed up with the Voodoo Kin Mafia, Kip James and BG. Were you excited to be teamed up with such veterans, or were you just happy to be there? Or did they both kind of...
I was scared to shit that I was going to mess something up, and so for me, that was really nerve-wracking, actually. But now those guys, like, kind of, they're my dads. They take care of me there, so it's really, really great.
Cool. What type of experience did you gain from working with two veterans such as them?
I've learned tons, because even if I have a match now, they'll still come up to me and they'll still tell me stuff that I can fix in my match. Or they'll tell me things that will help me look better in the ring, or just in promos and stuff like that, and it's really, really amazing.
Cool. Now, is there other people that are the same way there that'll give you a heads up, or?
Well, it's really nice at TNA that everybody is like that, actually. You could walk up to anybody and ask what happened, and
right.
or how your match was. Everybody has advice to give, which is a great thing, because there's so many guys that have been wrestling for so many years that are there. It's really, it's a great experience.
Right. Now, being there, from a fan's perspective, other than TNA being televised and all over the globe, does it have a feel of just a huge indie? You know what I mean? As a fan, and it's just because it's so interactive, do you kind of get that same feeling as well? That it's just an indie with
no, not at all.
No?
I don't at all, actually, no.
Okay. I was just,
for me, it's something where we're we're on TV every single week, and
right.
It's like all over the world in different countries and stuff like that. Like, there's not many indies that actually do that.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you know, like aside from that, does it have that feel at all?
Not really,
no?
Because it's still, you're walking in the back and you're walking next to somebody like Kevin Nash or Jim Cornette or Billy Gunn, and
true. No, just
it's not something that you would normally see.
Right. Okay, well, let's fast forward a bit. You now have become the Hardcore Knockout. How did this moniker come about? Just your style of wrestling?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just happened after the couple times I was split open on TV. And that kind of just got me a great name.
Right. Now, is that a kind of style you like? You going to keep being the Hardcore Knockout?
No, I haven't had any hardcore matches since the last time I was busted open. And for me, I'm actually more of like a grappler. And it's not something that I go looking for. It's not something that I pitched or anything like that. It was just something that kind of fell in my lap, and I just tried to run with it.
Cool. All right, just myself being from Ontario and Canada, I have read you'll be making some appearances over the upcoming weekend. Can you shed some light on that and where you'll be working, or if you have any signings?
I'm actually going to be working with Scott D'Amore's company on Friday night. And then the other couple of nights, like there's a couple different appearances during the day and then shows at night, so I'm kind of not sure exactly what the agenda is.
Okay.
The person that's actually bringing me up there, he has like the list for me when I get there.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I just read there's a signing in London, and you're going to be working another Fed on Saturday and Sunday. So. Yeah,
I'm kind of like all over the place, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you worked Canada a lot before? Is it something new?
I've been up near Montreal a couple times, but that's about it. I haven't been up there a lot.
Right. Something you're kind of looking forward to then, being more in Canada?
Yeah, for sure. I love going anywhere that's new. I love traveling. It's one of my favorites.
All right, cool. Well, before we go, we always ask our guests if they have a good road story they mind sharing. Do you mind to share a pretty good
road story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think. The last time I can think of was right after a loop of house shows me and Chantel were on. We ended up doing the New York Comic-Con up in New York, and they completely lost my bag for like 9 days. So I was down in Florida dressed in clothes from like Walmart and stuff, and that's basically how I had to live for the entire time that I was down at TV.
Wow. So Walmart, I guess, is in your trend, eh?
Yeah, it was great. I hate Delta.
No doubt, no doubt. Is there a lot of ribbing when you're on the road and stuff like that, or in the back?
Not really between the girls. Like, there's not a lot of ribbing or anything like that. So, like, it's hard when somebody's like, oh, do you have a road story? Normally, like, we're a bunch of zombies trying to just get to where we're supposed to be, like, have a sleep.
All right, I hear you. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
I have no idea. I'm one of the people that kind of just live day by day. Like, I never think of what I'm going to do later on. Like, if you asked me, like, 2 years ago if I was going to be doing this, I would probably tell you no.
Right.
I'm not very well prepared. I'm not a good planner.
What do you do when you're not wrestling? Obviously, tonight I know you were training. What else do you do?
Yep, I weightlift. I go to the movies. I go to a lot of comic book shops. I hit up some bars every now and again.
Fair enough.
Try to find some trouble to get into.
Well, before we go, one last thing. If your fans want to get a hold of you or see more of you, where can they do so? You got a website, a MySpace?
Yeah, I'm on MySpace. It's under Wrestling Rocks, ROXX.
Nice, nice. Well, thank you, Nikki, for your time. The pleasure's been all ours, as I'm sure it was the fans.
Thank you, and I will see you soon.